We'll wait for the Zoom link to go live, and then we'll kick things off. Has that worked? Try again. Check. We're having some technical difficulties with the Zoom link. I think it should have worked.
I'll go in and have a look, see if we're recording.
Yeah. Playing, we're live. Yep, we're live. Okay, just consult that link. Cool. Yep, we're fine. All right, Zoom link's live. Let's stand for the karakia, and then we will get into the meeting.
Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga. Kia mā kina ki uta, kia mā taratara ki tai. E he ake ana te atakura, he tio, he huka, he hauhunga, ki he mauriona.
Right, thank you, everybody. We officially start the meeting at 4:35 p.m. Today, Monday, the 11th of August. First up, we have apologies. So we have received an apology for absence from James Goff, and we have a early departure as noted by Linda. Any other apologies? No, David's online. So I think that is us. Could I get a mover for that, please? Bridget, and a seconder. Thanks, Nicola. All in favour? Against? Carried. Right, declarations of interest. There were no declarations of interest recorded, but if anything comes up during the meeting, please just let us know and you can step back from the table. 3, confirmation of the previous minutes. I've had a review of those and I'm happy to move those minutes. If we'd have a seconder for those, please.
Happy to see
Aaron? All, yeah, Aaron's got that one. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Right, that takes us on to item 4 of the agenda, being the public forum. So there is one public forum today. Mr. Craig Shirley, if you'd like to come and take a seat at the front, and this guy hasn't showed up yet. Okay, well, Craig isn't here. We'll see if he turns up later in the meeting. We could potentially just defer the public forums towards the end if he does. If not, then we will just carry on. Right, so item 5 on the agenda, deputations by appointment. We have one today being the Bishopdale Tennis Club. If you'd like to come and, come take a seat up the front. We have Gareth Robb and Paul Morris speaking on behalf of the tennis club regarding the paddle court application. Thanks for coming in.
For giving us the time.
Yeah, so I'm Gareth, this is Paul. We're here on behalf of the Bishopdale Tennis Club. I'm actually the coach, tennis coach there at the moment as well. So Paul and I kind of met each other 2 or 3 years ago, and he had contacted Paddle New Zealand. I'd done the same, just try and see if we can get some paddle going in Christchurch, because there was nothing here. So as of November 2023, Auckland had 2 courts and that was it. So we're pretty passionate. Paul's been overseas in Europe for quite a few years, so he's seen what's happening for paddle over there. It's very big. It's one of the top 3 fastest growing sports in the world. You would have heard of pickleball. That's one of the other ones that's around at the moment. So the tennis club's embraced pickleball, so that's created a new kind of vibe around the tennis club. And we're lucky enough, we've got an opportunity with enough piece of land to the side of court 6 that we can actually, try and get this paddle court going well. So in terms, I'm not sure how much of you've seen, whether you've seen it online or not, but a pretty cool sport. Coming from a tennis coach background, I can see that I've played it 4 times myself. It's a lot easier to learn for a beginner than something like tennis and squash, which I've got a little bit of a background as well. Just the ball's moving a bit slower. You've got the walls to help you out a little bit as well. So I can see why it's such a popular sport. And
if we click onto the next page, we can see a video of it. Hopefully it works
Just get the
Not leaving me.
Yeah.
Get straight from here. Of course, I tested it before and it went fine.
No one's watching, Aidan, don't worry.
No. Okay.
I'm watching.
There we go.
In fact, can you turn the lights off on the back behind the screen? Is it okay? Nicola, it's on your light switch behind you. Oh, thanks, Marianne.
Sorry.
Sound?
Sound.
Brilliant. Thank you.
It's, I mean, we can see.
Yeah, so,
So, yeah.
so it's sort of similar to tennis in many ways.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's great.
Okay.
So is it Padal?
Yeah.
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 So it's not paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like some of the benefits, as you can see by these, you can play it as an elderly person, or it's good for the kids. I know up in Auckland, I follow some of the Instagram from up there. There's an indoor court that's been placed in Browns Bay, and they're running holiday programs for kids as well. And yeah, so just having played it 4 times, I was actually in Riverside in Auckland, and in most clubs, I guess the tennis club is generally a tennis club, but up there I visited Riverside, and they had pop tennis, pickleball, they had a half-court basketball, they had the tennis, they had football. So they kind of set themselves up with like 8 to 10 different sports out of the tennis club. So the guy that I was talking to, the president who was responsible for bringing the court in, he just said it's just increased their membership tenfold, like they're in real financial trouble until they're able to kind of diversify a little bit and get other sports involved. So knowing that, went to Waimāero, had a look, and they're about the same. They've got squash, tennis, paddle, table tennis, a gym, everything as well, and they've got their membership up to about 1,000 members now from having some squash players, some tennis players, some paddle players, and pickle. So yeah, that's kind of what we're really about. We've noticed a huge change in just the social side of things. Now the pickleballers are all at the club, and hoping paddle can bring a new dynamic there, since it's massive in Europe, South America, getting really big in Australia now, and Asia as well. Just a couple of other little things just to note. So like Auckland started off with 2 courts. In the past 18 months, they've added 5 more. So they've now got 7. Tauranga's got a few. I think they might get 4. And I think Wellington's got a couple of indoors, and that's really it in terms of New Zealand. So nothing in the South Island as yet. So we're really hoping to see if we can get the first one in Christchurch, but certainly the first one in the South Island. We grow the community of players, and that's when we can start doing tournaments and interclub and all those sorts of things really.
Yeah. And Bishopdale Tennis Club will open up to the community, not just members, so inclusive of all. So we'll reach out to any retirement homes and see if we can get them involved, and obviously the schools as well.
Last slide.
Yep. Yeah, so we aim to make it affordable for all. It's quite expensive to set them up, so we need to get a bit of money back, but we'll definitely do on peak and off peak times, and working with the community, see how we can fit everyone in.
Questions from anyone? Yeah, Sam, go for it.
It was literally just in relation to the report we've got. So you're comfortable with everything, yeah, in terms of the variations. There's nothing you asked for that you didn't get or anything like that.
I think it went through, so that was good. Yeah, I mean, it was a good experience having to go through the lighting engineers, the acoustic engineers, the civil engineers, a bit of a learning curve and all that, but yeah, it took a while, but we
got the resource consent and the building consent, so.
Nothing like rules. Okay, so you're generally comfortable. Yeah, that's great.
And so the other courts, so this would be the first court in the South Island, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Exciting. And then you said that the other courts would be up in the North Island. If there was to be a padel tournament, who would get it? Would there be interest in wanting to have?
Yeah, like Walding Park is planning to get them as well.
Okay.
So they're going to put 4 courts in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably be based there and
Yeah.
there'd be an extra court if needed.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Okay, exciting.
This looks fantastic. It's really great. And I know that paddle tennis seems to be making a comeback at school. So I imagine that padel will also, there'll be lots of interest from people. But I just had a question. What's the ball like?
Ball's just the same as a low compression tennis ball.
It
It's
is.
a bit similar to paddle tennis because I've been rung up, with those guys getting into schools and stuff, which is awesome. But it's quite soft, so it's I guess quieter than a tennis ball. The bat's about that long, about that thick with holes. I was meant to bring one along today, but it's just so it's a padel. Weirdly, it's called a racket, I think.
A racket.
Pickleball, I think, is
The paddle, isn't it?
paddle. Yeah, so it's a little bit confusing, but it's a lot thicker than a pickleball.
Yes, the
Paddle,
paddle's quite, yeah. At least if it's windy, you can still play.
Yeah.
No, that looks fantastic. I'm super keen to come give it a go.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank
Team
you.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be great.
Christmas parties. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. No other questions from anyone? All right. Thanks, Dan. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, with that, we move on to item 6, being presentations of petitions, which we have none. And then that takes us into staff reports. So the first one being the Bishopdale Tennis Club Padel Court application. Jason Tickner, Parks and Rec Planner, and Felix Dawson. Are you online or in the room?
And Kelly is online.
Yeah, it's actually me filling in for Jason, and I'm online.
Okay, great.
So yeah, great to see the tennis club there representing their application. And obviously, like all sports clubs, the clubs is having to adapt to changing community preferences. So it's great to see them taking this initiative and trying something different. As they explained, it's a combination of tennis and squash. And yeah, I'll be keen to have a go as well. So there's no changes to the lease area, just a change to the facilities within their lease area and some of the landscaping, and obviously a slightly different activity to what's there at the moment.
Fantastic. Any questions, team, on the plan?
No, that's good.
No?
That's good.
All right, fantastic. All right, yeah, then Aaron's happy to move that one. And could get a seconder for that? We'll give it to David. But again, I'm very supportive of this one. So with that in mind, with Aaron to move, David to second, all in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Fantastic. Look forward to the grand opening. Please flick us an invite. Next up on the agenda, item 8, 23 Homewood Road road stopping application. We have. Yes. Good afternoon. How are we doing? Good, thank you. Good. Sure. Yeah. It doesn't seem particularly. Nothing particularly.
No, it's pretty straightforward, to be honest, and it's in keeping with the other ones that were done down the street last year as well. So
Okay. Right. I'll keep things moving. Aaron's happy to move. We'll get a second for that one.
Yep.
Nicola, all in favour? Against? Carried. Awesome.
Right.
Thanks for coming in.
Cheers.
Right. Item number 9, Halifax Reserve Place-Based Renewal and Urban Forest Plan. Holly.
Kia ora.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in.
All right, it's a pleasure.
And
I don't really have anything more to say than what's included in the report.
Sure.
Just here for questions.
Okay, great. So I have quite a few. I live in the area. Does anyone else has any questions on it first, just while
I can ask some
yeah,
questions.
you go for it.
So I guess for when we look at the design of this particular playground, it looks aesthetically really lovely. I guess the question that I've got is the wooden structures, like the sort of the wee clubhouse looking things. They like, I don't know how to ask this. Are they good bang for buck? Like, how utilized are they actually? Because it's quite a stagnant thing to put on a playground.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate that I guess they've not got movement. They're more like imaginative play. And so the initial brief was to take that large tree and build a tree house around it. I was told by a lot of people that wouldn't work. I've met with somebody who thought it could work. It subsequently, they're too worried about building around a moving structure. So they took the treehouse concept and made it into these sort of little fatties, I guess. I guess it depends on your preferred playing style. Like we really went down the brief of appealing to the little ones, and that imaginative play does. And I guess if that's your playing style, then it is. But then if you want something more fast-paced and appealing to older children, which we weren't trying to lean towards, then perhaps not.
So I guess the question, just a follow-up question, if you don't mind me asking, is when you said that the initial brief was to create a tree house around the tree, did that come from a local resident? Where did
that was like, so we've done 2 rounds of consultation. One was neither of which received, I think we had 3 submissions in the first one and maybe 6, 7 in the second. And 2 people suggested play forts in the first one. So that's where the brief came from.
I managed to get my device working. So I've got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, so a pretty good cross section, and we spend a lot of time in parks. And we've come across some of these pieces of play equipment in our travels. And I was talking to my wife about it as well. She's always, because she spends as much time down at the park with the kids as I do, if not more sometimes. The couple of the items on there, I think like the fort's a cool idea, but that's a log. That is a log that's going from the, I guess, opening inside the fort.
Yeah, like a climbing log. Yeah.
So would that just be a smooth log?
No, it's got like cutouts in it.
Okay.
Yeah, for holding onto it, and it's quite challenging. It's definitely aimed at some of the older children.
That's not too bad then. That bit's kind of okay. The areas where the feedback I've got is around the net swing. I think it would probably be better to have just 2 regular, like a swing and the toddler swing type of thing there, just because from our experience, the kids, they get bored of those ones and they can't actually do as much. Whereas in your normal swing, they can go ham on. Sometimes they like to go on their stomach and go backwards and forwards on them like that. They can jump off them and things. The net swings don't seem to land as much. And the other one, which in my neck of the woods, one of the most well utilised parts of Bishopdale Park is the monkey bars. And there aren't a huge array of monkey bars around the area. So like my 4-year-old uses the monkey bars a lot as well. One of the problems you have with them sometimes is actually they're too high up and the little kids can't actually climb up to access them. But I'd love to see the opportunity, the potential there to have monkey bars in place, potentially of the little wooded kind of, what would you call that, to the right-hand side of the design. Essentially, it's just, I feel like for our particular area and what people like from like a functional play space, monkey bars and some swings would make, alongside the rest of that, would make it like a lot more desirable for people in the area. Yeah, that was my feedback on that one. Now, but if we were to do that, what would that do to the consultation process? Would you have to go out and reconsult on that if we were to do that?
I mean, probably not, judging by the quantity of feedback we got, I would have to confirm this with the engagement team, but I think so the thing with monkey bars is they require quite a lot of soft fall. They've got a big fall zone, so it's not just the cost of the equipment, it's the safety surfacing, which is surprisingly a high proportion of any play project. So hypothetically, we took that first little hut out and substituted it with monkey bars.
Yes.
The fall zone for a double set of swings would be considerably larger, so we'd be talking about considerably more safety surfacing with a monkey bar and another set of swings.
So is that surface there at the moment, is that not bark? Is that like a
It
hut?
is bark, but it's still really expensive.
Okay.
Not just because of the depth and also the amount of boxing you have to do, you have to dig out the ground. So there's ground prep as well, the weed mat, the boxing. So the safety set, that's why we always group things together to try and reduce that soft fall cost. I couldn't say off the top of my head. I mean, we can make some tweaks around reducing some of the planting, and you'd get a little bit of savings by getting rid of that fatty, but it's still part of that boardwalk. And what we sort of had in mind was that somebody in a wheelchair could roll up to that top fort and still be able to play at sort of height. And that was something we hoped to achieve too. Just because not many play spaces have that availability for people who are wheelchair bound. But yeah, so I would be quite keen to keep that boardwalk. And then potentially, we could add monkey bars. Maybe you could twist that the tall fort and add monkey bars off the end potentially, because you need a platform or two stepping pods. So yeah, I mean, it would be increasing or redirecting some of the budget.
Yeah, I'd be quite keen to see what that looks like. Like, obviously, we've already got this design there. I'd be quite keen to see what we could do around that, just to see if we can rework it within the budget we've got to make some of those adjustments.
I mean, the other option is that you take some of those climbing elements out. That would give you more fall zone for widening the swing.
Is that because
those posts don't really look like it there, but they're like stepping posts and like climbing posts. So there's those 4 posts. That diagram doesn't do a great job of.
if you ripped so if we ripped that out,
we could put monkey bars there. That would be fine.
As a not a process point of view, but as a good decision making point of view, it sounds like this needs more work between you guys. Is there a way that we could do this offline and bring it back? Rather than, I'm just saying we shouldn't be designing a.
No, that sounds good. So what would be
it sounds like you guys have got good knowledge on it, which is like, it's almost like the team can come and have a chat with you.
Could Sam.
You can just tell I
don't mind.
Yeah, I don't know how that works from like.
Well, is it just a case of leaving it on the table?
We're better to get it right.
I think so. And because it's that little part, there isn't a whole lot of other, as you'll know, like that's a little spot in that area, but there's nothing super close to it. So if we can really nail that, there's quite a lot of families in that area.
I was quite surprised by the low level of feedback we received, and we did 2 rounds of consultation. Really,
that is.
Try and push it. We did letter drops twice. We really tried to push it and got really nothing.
No, and it's a bit of a blank palette. So there's a really good opportunity there to get something good in that space. Well, can we do that?
Do you have any urgency around timeline?
Yes, I mean it was a design build, so the contract is hoping to construct in October, but it depends how then it comes back for decision. Do I need to come back for decision again?
Yeah, it will.
Are you happy to sign off the tree planting?
The tree planting? Is that the 2 different elements to that? Yeah, we can sign off the tree planting.
Tree planting.
That may change depending on.
No, that won't change. No. No, the footprint will stay particularly the same. Yeah.
Okay. Well, should we leave it on the table and then see if we can just make some tweaks around monkey bars and just changing the net swing? Are we in work? We need to send an email out.
It's best to sign off once anyway. So yeah,
is there any space in the September decision making? Okay.
Get this done.
We'll try and tweak it with urgency.
Okay. I appreciate your patience with that one. Okay. Well, might maybe just
Do
move
you want
the
to
second
say
back.
that it's to come back to the September meeting?
That's a good idea.
And then I think from a consultation perspective, we'd probably just resend the approved design to the.
To the people that respond.
Okay. Happy enough with that? All right, yep.
Do you put that one to the meeting?
Yeah. Okay, so we move. I'll move that one. Yep. I'll give a second there. Sam? Right, all in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that one. Hyde Park is next.
Again.
You again. No, we're not going to be as difficult on the.
No, I'm really happy with the design, and I think it's you've taken on board the feedback 23 people, and there's nature play, and it's not a massive high use park. I live around the corner. I'm happy to move it.
I'll second it.
All in favour?
Aye.
Carried. Fantastic.
Just for my clarity, who am I organising a design meeting with?
Contact me.
Okay, thanks.
Right, that moves us on to item 11, strengthening communities fund application. Marianne.
Yep, we'll just have Natalie and Karen up to the table. And I think, have we got,
She's ready on the phone.
so Lisa's overseas, but Helen is the sport and recreation person over in American, and she's standby if you've got any questions for her.
Any questions from anyone?
So we had the matrix out to you quite a few weeks ago, and kind of gave a deadline for you to get questions back. We didn't get any questions back, so we assumed it was pretty straightforward. You would have seen in the cover report that it leaves, if you approve these recommendations today, it leaves about 112,000 in the DRF minus the board projects, which are next on the agenda. Plus we're still finalising our carry forward of our DRF from last year. But because things like Culture Galore didn't go ahead last year, our Edible Garden Awards didn't go ahead, well, we didn't have the function. So we're looking at approximately 50,000 that will carry forward. So even once your board projects come out, we'll still be sitting at about that 120,000 for DRF for the year, which is quite a nice buffer. But yeah, the staff are here if you've got anything that you want to raise with them.
Yeah, did anyone have any specific questions on anything? Not, I'm happy to move. We'll get a seconder. Aaron, happy to second. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Fantastic team. Thanks for all your work on that. Moves us on to item 12, the DRF or projects.
So we have, you'll note Culture Galore isn't there. We've passed that one on. But you'll note that we have still put in funding to do the youth achievement event, which we didn't do this year because there was lack of attendees available, but we thought put the money aside just in case. We'll try again, and hopefully we'll get more attendees and have a function this year. But they're pretty straightforward. They're the standard ones that we run each year. And it's Garden Pride, it's Edible Gardens this year instead of Garden Pride. We alternate those.
Any questions on that from
Other way
anyone?
around.
Is it garden? It's garden pride, is it?
Edible.
I think it's.
Garden Pride. Yeah, Edibles was this year
Yeah.
Okay.
with 7.
Yeah.
Oh, so no questions for any Marianne on that one for the team? No? Right, can we get a mover for that one, please?
Move.
Happy to move. David, happy to second.
Aye.
All in favour? Against? Carried. Fantastic. That moves us on to item number 13. The refund applications for St Mark's Presbyterian Church and St Christopher's Anglican Church. Karen, you're presenting on that one. Anything particular to say? No? Take it as read.
One thing I wondered is with the security cameras at St Christopher's Church, do you think, is there room to give them another 500? It's just, I know that they've had some issues And I'm just thinking about when we have challenges around the community with like in the middle of town and stuff like that, we're putting quite a bit of money into this kind of thing. That would be the only one. I just wondered if we could.
Totally up to you. Yeah.
Yeah, is that you do not have an aversion to that or anything?
Not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, sorry, I should have raised it earlier, but just
All right.
if we were on
So upping that to 2,000.
is that all right? Yeah, that'd be because we've still got plenty.
Yeah.
That would be great.
All right, no problem.
I'm happy to move them.
Sam, happy to move that. Can we get a second for that one? Nicola? All in favour?
Right.
Against? Carried. Fantastic. That moves us on to item 14, the board area report. Mary Ann.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Some really cool stuff happening out with Natalie and Karen out there, out and about doing bits and bobs. The Juniper Reserve planting project, it's been such a successful project. And as you know, Jason and Bridget spoke to it at council the other day and got a really good response. And the stuff Natalie's been doing out at Northwood, getting out there and cleaning things and pulling weeds, and it's all going really well. And we've got a few community surveys out at the moment. So there's one for Burnside Brindwa, and there's a link on our board webpage if promote that to get people to go in and complete the survey. It's going out via mailboxes as well, but it would be good just to promote that. And then there's one for the Belfast community, a community residence survey for Belfast, and the Inglefield Reserve Nature Play Space. So there's 3 live surveys on our board webpage at the moment. It would be good to get the word out about that. So I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions from anyone on that one?
Just a comment, just to say with the Burnside and Brindwa, not consultation, the feedback that's going out there with the use of QR code, and also just using different languages to just make the whole process feel really inclusive, I think is awesome.
Fantastic.
So massive congratulations to all those involved, and well done.
Awesome. All right, I'm happy to move that if we can get a seconder.
Aye.
David? All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Fantastic. Thanks, Mary Ann. And that moves us on to item number 15, being elected members information exchange. What's been happening, Tane? Anyone got anything they want to share?
I'm sure you all know our inside community directory it's all been delivered, hasn't it? Which is fantastic, thanks to some certain people, which over there. And we've had some really good feedback already. I've had somebody from I think it's down Ambleside Drive or somewhere said that was fantastic. They've I don't think they got the first one, they're new to the area, but they said that's really great. So thanks so much. I think it's really good to getting a hard copy and having it, and they said they'll pull it out and use it. They didn't realise there was such a lot of things happening in our community. So that's great. Awesome.
Cool. Any updates from anyone else?
So there's some work happening at the moment around the right turning green arrows. And so we started initially with Ilam and Memorial, Greer's and Memorial, and the team are now working at Graham's and Memorial. And I've asked them to look at Maidstone and Waimaere, because it's all coming from this block up of traffic while we're doing 6 months worth of work. So I wonder, it's good to mention, and I wonder if I'm sort of prompting them from one side, whether you could prompt them from the other, just to get the timelines on those, because the most feedback we get is around those. So it'd be good to get the clarity on, particularly Graham's and Memorial. Yeah.
Suresh would have been happy.
We've got to do it before the end of the term. So
Are there some in there at the moment that aren't activated, or would they need to get put on?
no, they've got to redo. Or I don't know about there, but at Greer's and Memorial and Ilam and Memorial, they think they might have to redo some poles there. But to be fair, it needs work anyway. And I think they're actually in the schedule to do it in about 4 years' time.
Okay.
So they're just going to bring it forward. But to be fair, you can't, the amount of traffic that goes through those roads every day, it just needs to be done. So I'll keep chasing it at this end because it's quite good. And the only other thing, I guess, was Natalie's been working with Karen has been working with or Natalie and Karen probably, about the notice around the tree planting in Crosby Park as well. So that's been progressing pretty good. And then the only other one, just thinking, was we had that meeting at Avonhead Park. That would have been after the last community board meeting, wasn't it? Around the planting plan at Avonhead Park. And that was really good. It was a really good example of when you get residents out there with Toby, and they've actually found a solution that everyone was happy with. So it started, when we got there, it was very kind of, everyone was all standoffish, and we just said, well, we need to find a way forward as a group, and it sounds like they have. So it's kind of like sometimes good feedback to pass back through the team to keep encouraging the good behaviour.
And is that planting plan, is that feeding in with because there were some drainage changes we're making there too, like with the swales and stuff, so it all kind of ties in.
It's all
with that,
done,
right?
isn't it, Karen? Yeah, it's all
Yep.
done.
The parks team have been brilliant out there. They've really got onto it. And weirdly, we had the flooding episodes.
It worked.
It worked a treat. So it did exactly what it was meant to do.
Backyards around that.
Yep. Yeah, but the irony is the people that originally, so Jeff and his wife who had the flooding issues, so they're really happy, but they came along quite annoyed about the tree planting. But they were one of the ones that are very happy now that they've, so it just shows when you talk to people, it's so much easier.
Get the input.
Yeah, but also our team actually moved. They didn't, like potentially some of our departments would not move. Whereas Toby realised that the best way was to actually compromise and get a way forward. So
Nice.
so we should pass that feedback on if we can, because yeah.
Yeah, so just a couple of updates from me on a couple of things happening. So we managed to just get some information that there is a little kind of cricket net at Tulloch Park that's going to get a renewal. So there's no real cricket nets particularly close vicinity to that, and there's just one kind of older one there. So just the turf's being redone, which is great. It's been in the pipeline for quite a while, so that'll just be just a little thing that'll make a great wee addition over summer over there. And then the other one is we're still waiting on when the decision or the paper will be going to full council for a decision around the Northwood Boulevard extension. And then I've just kind of had a bit more, a little bit of feedback from some residents on that, had a couple of emails, and then obviously a few comments on social media around that one as well. But the general feedback hasn't changed so far in terms of what the residents around their preferences were. But it's just going to be a matter of making sure once we get the date for the meeting that they have the ability to get a deputation and go and share their view at council, because it bypasses community board. So just monitoring that one at the moment. Cool. Right, nothing else on elected members, Aaron? Something from you?
So one I'd raised, because a couple of people had raised it just out of annoyance, is around some of the traffic management. Like we always hear about cones, but Sticks Mill Road, there's been a lot of subdivision work done off the side of it. And so they put traffic lights in and reduced temporary ones and reduced it to one lane. And it has really bad flow. And then on the weekends, there's no one there working, and it's one lane on these light things. And so just holding up literally thousands of people for no gain, when they could open it up to still leave it at 30k with cones through the middle and have two lanes operating on the weekends without the lights, but they don't. And so I don't know whether, should we raise it through here or?
Yeah, Aidan can log it.
They must, so, and this kind of goes to all traffic management, they must lodge a plan. And then who monitors? And who signs off the plan to start with and goes, oh yeah, we're fine for that road to be one lane for 6 months or 8 months. Or no, on the weekends, if you're not working, put it back because you've got room. Different if you haven't got room, that's fine, but there's plenty of room. You just get all these angry people kind of waiting.
Phasing's terrible too.
It's terrible
It's like
phasing.
3 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's really bad. And there's a fire station along there, which they'd be allowed to cut through, but well, if they can.
Take out a few cones.
Yeah, take some cones out along the way. And then the other one is Claridge's Road. So that's nearly all subdivision now, along the back of Tulloch Park and things. And there's a wee eatery there, I've spotted, just along from the doctors. Yeah, it's just amazing. But the road's in appalling condition. So I think we need to raise that. So I don't know whether all the developers that have along there are meant to be doing it.
Result of all that traffic that you think.
Maybe, or it's just always been
Kind of like a semi-rural road.
Yeah, it's a crappy old country road for the last 80, 100 years. Now it's a main thoroughfare for lots of people, and I think it needs to be, well, if we can find out where in the schedule that sits, Jason, I'll be happy to
Oh, okay.
re-communicate back to
Does
people.
it? Nice, yeah. All right. Thanks, Aaron. That's awesome. All right, there's no other information to exchange between the elected members. Then we will move on to the closing karakia and end the meeting. Stand, please.
Unuhia, unuhia, ki te uru tapanui, kia wātea, kia mama, tēnā kou, te tinana, te wairoa i te ara takata, ko ia rā e rongo, whakakairia ake ki runga, kia tina, huia, taikia.
Thank you, everybody. With that, the meeting is closed at 5:14 p.m.